Hello, I'm Lisa Cahill, and I'm Chief Financial Officer at Evolve Real Estate. I've been a CPA and an accountant since 1991, and I've worked for some of the largest CPA firms in the state of Florida. As a tax manager, I have helped many large and small businesses with their tax planning, tax return preparation for high net worth individuals, IRS audit representation, and various audits and compliance issues. As we near the end of the year, I want to talk to you today about 3 tax tips for 2013 and how to keep impeccable business expense records even if you're not a CPA. A joke I heard years ago is relevant to so many people. Taxes are like a golf game. You aim and work to get to the green, and then you end up in the hole. Since real estate agents are independent contractors, their brokers are required to issue them a 1099 at the end of the year to report their gross commission income that they earned during the year. They do a great job of that. Your job is to keep track of your expenses related to your business. If you don't, you'll pay more tax than you should. As a sole proprietor, you pay self-employment tax on top of your federal income tax. One of my favorite financial advisors is Susie Orman. She says, "I'm a big believer that orderliness begets wealth." I agree with her fully. I found in my years of practicing public accounting, clients did not like dealing with the paperwork and the receipts and the bookkeeping required, and they didn't want to spend the extra money to hire a bookkeeper to track all their expenses for their income tax return. They would bring in a box full of receipts to my office, the receipts that they could find anyway, and they'd have to pay a CPA, which was me, to compile the expenses, which wasn't cheap. I'm here to help you with 3 tips for compiling your expenses for 2013, while at the same time, while the information is still fresh in your mind, we're going to still devise a system for 2014 to keep such impeccable tax records that even a CPA would be impressed. This will help you file your tax return earlier and not have to worry about extending and wonder how much you're going to owe in tax. And if you have a refund coming, it won't hold up your refund. You'll be able to file in time and get that money that the IRS is holding for you. So step 1, establish a separate bank account for your real estate business. I recommend, if you do not already have a separate business bank account, set one up now. Use only that business account for your business-related expenses, and make sure to always deposit your business income into your business account so that you can monitor the profit that you made at any time. You can then transfer money from this account into your personal account if you need money for personal expenses. The IRS does audit small businesses. I have represented clients being audited, and I can assure you it's not a fun experience. I was sitting across the desk with an IRS auditor one time, and the first thing I noticed was a box of Kleenex on the desk. And I asked her, "Do people really cry in your office?" And she said, "Yes, all the time." Don't let that be you. If you are audited, you want to have very complete and organized records. No crying for you. So step 2, subscribe to an online accounting program. I recommend that you get an online subscription to QuickBooks. I have QuickBooks for my personal matters and my various businesses, and it's not expensive. The support is excellent, and it's easy to use, even if you are not a CPA. It was easy for me because I was a CPA, but I'm telling you, it'd be easy for you too. QuickBooks can be set up to download your various accounts and your credit card expenses. QuickBooks has an amazing assortment of reports that you can use, and along with graphs and charts, so you can analyze your business. These reports had to be created years ago by people like me, but now they're just part of the basic program that you buy, and it's really amazing the resources that are out there. All you have to do is just use them. It's really easy to do. Who would be more interested in your business than you? Step 3, evaluate your business expenses and be a bulldog about it. Just because an expense is a tax-deductible expense doesn't mean it really needs to be spent. After all, if you spend that dollar unnecessarily, you still don't have that dollar. But if you save that dollar, even if you pay tax on the dollar, you still have 70 cents or more left that you can, spend on something else depending on your tax rate. So let's go over some of the tax deductions that are common to realtors. Car expenses, that's a big one. The actual mileage method can be used, or the actual expense method can be used. Under either method, you must have a mileage log. There are apps now that help you with this through QuickBooks, and I also found an app called TripCubby, TRIPCUBBY, and that can help you track your business miles, which are the miles that you drive between your business appointments. The next thing is office supplies and expenses for business purposes. Next is dues that you pay to MLS, the Board of Realtors, your electronic key payments, fees paid to your broker monthly for desk fees and various expenses for software and the like. And if you're like many people, some of these expenses are set up on auto bill pay. You want to make sure that if you don't have these set up on your business debit card or your checking account for business, that you change them over immediately. Just go through them and change them over. The next is marketing and advertising expenses paid for your website, your lead generation, Zillow, Market Leader, print ads, and anything else that pertains to your business for advertising purposes. The next thing is meals and entertainment expenses to take your clients out for coffee, your potential clients out for dinner, breakfast, these little marketing tools that you use to gain respect from your potential clients and your existing clients, to thank them with a gift and things like that. You can view www.irs.gov, which explains ordinary and necessary expenses for business in detail in publication 535. If you have trouble sleeping at night, you can always go to irs.gov and pull open publication 535, and that'll put you right to sleep. Do not rely on your friends and family for tax advice. Not a good idea. Once you get all of your business expenses downloaded into QuickBooks, now the fun begins. You can classify them into the different categories, and there's tutorials to help you do that. You'll be able to see how much money you received and how much money you spent and where you spent it and how much. I recommend reviewing all of your expenses at least yearly. Don't let the year slip by. Preferably quarterly, even twice a year is better, to see if you need to reevaluate any of these expenses. First, you need to determine if you're getting an appropriate return on these expenses. Then you need to ask if you can get it cheaper or even for free. It's amazing what you can get for free these days. For example, I know a real estate agent friend of mine. Years ago, he paid $99 a month for his Wi-Fi card. Pretty soon, someone told him that the price had gone down to $79 per month. But my friend was still being charged $99 per month, imagine that. Over the course of 2 years, the price went down periodically to a low of $49. But he always had to ask for the newest, cheapest rate. They never called him and offered it to him. If he had not said anything, he figured over the course of 2 years, he would have been charged hundreds of dollars more than he actually paid. Is that happening to you? Another consideration, especially with those expenses that are auto bill pay, you need to monitor how much you're being charged and shop around anything you pay each month. Insurance, cell phone plans, marketing, your website, to name a few. Speaking of websites, for our company, Evolve, we use Website Box. For an initial fee of $99, we got this beautiful website, and we don't pay anything per month. That's it. Nothing per month we pay. Only $99 to set it up. Many tools are now free or much cheaper than they used to be for better products. Auto bill pay is convenient, yes, but it also allows us to not realize how much we're spending on certain items. Once it's spent, it's gone forever. It's not like the old days when you cringed every time you wrote that check for that expense, and then you were prompted to call for quotes because you had just written that check and you were not happy about that cost. One expense item that will not show up in QuickBooks is the amount that you pay your broker out of your commission, which is referred to as your commission split. The check you receive already has that split taken from it. At Evolve Real Estate, we charge $100 per transaction. That's it. It's an expense that exists in your business that also needs to be evaluated periodically. You need to make sure you're getting the most benefit out of every dollar you spend. Don't forget, you earn that gross commission income, not just the taxable from your 1099 and the amount stated on your Schedule C. Getting into the habit of classifying your transactions in QuickBooks will not only help you at tax time because the work will already be done by the end of the year. It will also make you mindful of what you're spending each month on various expenses. In Stephen R. Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he said, be proactive, not reactive. Know ahead of time what you're spending and shop around for better prices and eliminate what you don't need and don't use. If you are not a captive of your past, just make sure the expenses may have made sense a year ago. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need it now. That could mean hundreds of dollars in your pocket. You will know exactly what you are spending and be in control of what you spend. Have your impeccable tax records done ahead of time and be far more wealthy because of it. One last thing. Be sure to hire a competent tax advisor in your state. It is well worth the money, and now you will have these impeccable tax records, and they will love to have you as a client. If you have any questions or if I can be of any assistance, please contact me.